Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. Well, sometimes you've got to hit it straight on and take your medicine. And look, I said last week, Man City in crisis. They needed to win today, and they did. And look, I think Chelsea will be very disappointed in that. And look, as a United fan, I've just watched us lose to Villa, which is a hard pill to swallow as we talk about the title race. But I think the saddest thing about today is that reality bites. You know, has anything changed? Are Man City going to run away with it again? Chelsea and Liverpool maybe second and third, United in fourth. Is that to be the story? We hoped it wouldn't, unless you're a Man City fan. But I've got to say, Man City responded in the perfect way. 1-0 win at Stamford Bridge. You know, it levels them up with Chelsea. It doesn't mean anything for Chelsea. I mean, look, Chelsea have still had a very tough start to the season. They've been to Anfield, they've been to the Emirates, they've played Man City. Man City play Liverpool next week, and Chelsea could benefit from that. So, look, Chelsea are in a title race. They'll be disappointed with that. A 1-0 loss. A little bit of fortuitous for Jesus, but to be honest with you, on the balance of play, I think it's fair to say that Man City were the better side. And the first time that, you know, Pep has proven himself against Chelsea. Tuchel has had his number. Today he didn't. And to be honest with you, I think when I saw the team news come out, I was like, I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, I'm not an in-depth follower of Chelsea, but I was a little bit surprised that he went with the two of Werner and Lukaku, and then the three of Kovacic, Kante and Jorginho. Obviously, he played his normal back five. I think Chelsea are better when they go with the when they go with that front three of Havertz and Mount and Lukaku, with a two of Kante and Jorginho, or Kovacic and Jorginho, or whatever. I was a little bit concerned when I saw that, but then you can't question Tuchel because he's so good tactically. But ultimately, I do wonder if he'd have gone with the old formation, whether that would have suited them better. Because it was a very tight game. And I think it's one of those games where you win it 1-0 and you go, I got it right. But you lose it 1-0 and you're like, ugh. They're horrible games to lose because it's so tight and it's against the rival and you are the home team. And if you win it, you put yourself in 6 points clear of City. Now you're back level. It doesn't put Chelsea out of the title race. What it does do is it means that Man City are the favourites. And Man City were the favourites for me before a ball was kicked. It's a massive win for Man City. They lose the game to Chelsea today and then they lose to Liverpool, and they could find themselves sort of 9 points off the top. They've put themselves right back amongst it now, and they are going to be the favourites for the title. I don't think we learnt anything massively, in the sense that I don't think this means Man City are better than Chelsea. It does on the day. But, hopefully we're going to get a good title race. And I think that Chelsea are going to have to bounce back from that and now show the consistency, because what we have seen is that Chelsea have lost the game, and we've not seen that. And how do they bounce back to that? Are Chelsea now capable of going away to somebody like a Southampton and losing, or something like that? Or are they going to be that relentless consistency that they need? Because losing to Man City will not matter to Chelsea if they go and win their next 5-6 games and stay level with City. City obviously go to Liverpool next week, massive amount of confidence, and they're a bit like a wounded animal. I thought they were in a bit of a crisis. I really did. I think, they were crap against Southampton last week. They've obviously already lost to Spurs, and going into massive games against Chelsea and Liverpool, if they lose those games, I think you are out. And the reason I think that you're out is because I think United are out of title race. And people will say, well, that's a bit melodramatic. But I think United are out of title race. We've been to Southampton and drawn away from home. We've just lost to Villa at home, and deservedly so. That is not the level of form that you need to compete with the teams that are going to compete for this title. Liverpool's of this world, Man City's of this world, Chelsea's of this world. And people will say, well, you know what? Southampton got a point at the Etihad last week. I just don't think United are at the level they need to be. You can see my match reaction to that on the United stand, and I went in on Ollie big time. But look, for me, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, they're the three to keep an eye on. First game down for Man City. If they can go and get a result against Liverpool next week, and maybe a win, then they're well acquainted with winning titles and what it takes to do it. And I think there was an opportunity for Chelsea today, and I think there is an opportunity for Liverpool next week. But Man City passed it with flying colours. And look, that crisis. The thing about a crisis is you can avert a crisis, and I think Man City did do that today. They needed to get a win today. they probably would have been okay with a point, but the win is fantastic for them, and you could see how their players reacted at the end and how happy Pep was, because that was a significant win. This Chelsea side had their number, and they've now been to Stamford Bridge and beaten them, and the confidence of them will be massive, and Chelsea's confidence will take a blow. But I do admit that I think, and I don't know what you think if you're a Chelsea fan, I would have been happier to see Chelsea go with Lukaku, 2 attacking midfielders behind him and 2 midfielders, rather than the way they went. Man City had a couple of chances where they should have scored as well, and they just seemed, I wouldn't say they dominated Chelsea, but they just seemed the better side across the game, and from minute 1 to minute 90, and they did deserve the win. So fair play to Man City, they deserved it, you can't knock that. Obviously United's loss is ridiculous, and we'll see what happens with Liverpool later, but it already looks to me like we're going to have this Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool title race. United sort of in 4th, and then the rest of the teams fighting it out for 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. So we'll see if that comes to pass. But disappointing for United, disappointing for Chelsea, massive win for Manchester City. And I've got to admit, I've had a crap fancy Premier League day. Absolutely awful. I had Ronaldo captain, I had Lukaku in my team, I had Luke Shaw as a defender. Awful, absolutely awful. Let's hope I can get some points elsewhere. But Leeds beating West Ham 1-0 as well. Thanks everyone for watching. Make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe, get your comments in below. Man City were my tip for the title before, which is why I wanted them to drop some points, but they're looking very strong again. I don't think it's anything over. You can lose a game. You can lose a game to Man City 1-0, and it's not the end of the world for Chelsea. They need to bounce back. And as for my club, well, I think we've proven what many people suspect, that we aren't title contenders. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon.